start to reflect the voting habits in the 2024 election. Okay? The blue equals the Democrat. The red equals the Republican. Okay? The blue equals the Democrat. The red equals the Republican. Let me make this a little bigger. And as this says, it's essential to remind the media that Chicanos represent the majority within the Latin community. And we reject the label Latino. This is from a Latino website. Notably, 62% of Chicanos backed Kamala. 59% of Puerto Ricans backed Kamala. The support for Trump mainly comes from Cuba, Venezuela, El Salvador, and Argentina. You understand that? So what does that tell you? What it tells me is this goofball, Joy Reid, doesn't know what she's talking about. Let me break this down for you. Mexican Americans or Chicanos, 62% of them voted for Kamala Harris. So when she says, I hope your grandma gets sent home, these people voted for Kamala Harris. What are you talking about? 33% supported Donald Trump. And you got to understand, Mexican Americans are the largest subgroup within the U.S. Latino population, largely backed, and they largely back Kamala Harris or the Democratic ticket. And whether you like it or not, they did what they always do. Okay? And they're often characterized by their long-standing ties to the progressive policies and the focus on labor rights, immigration reform, and Joy Reid's broad generalization, it ignores that. They voted their interests. Mexican Americans, Chicanos voted their interests. Puerto Ricans, 59% voted for Kamala Harris. 37% voted for Donald Trump. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. They have a distinct political perspective tied to their status as residents of the U.S. territory. They too lean Democratic, slightly less than Mexican Americans, but that also reflects the complexities of the unique and political social issues. Now, flip the script. Cuban Americans, 40% of them voted for Kamala Harris. 40% of them voted for Kamala Harris. 58% of them voted for Donald Trump. Now, all of these people fit under the category of Latino, according to people like Joy Reid. So you have to ask yourself, well, why is it that the majority of the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans voted for Kamala Harris and the Cubans, you know, a standout subgroup in the Latino community? They've done a lot for themselves. They showed strong support for Trump. But see, why is that? It's because their history is deeply rooted in the collective memory of fleeing Fidel Castro in a communist regime. And for Cuban Americans, the Democratic Party and their policies, particularly under Kamala Harris, they resemble these socialist and communist ideologies that these folk escaped. And so we can't dismiss their legitimate fears, okay, and their political choice as quote unquote owning the consequences of deportation. That's offensive, and it's ignorant of these people's history. Same thing goes for these Central Americans. You talking about people from El Salvador, Honduras. They supported Kamala Harris, 56%. 36% of Donald Trump. These Central Americans lean Democratic, but with notable support for Trump. It showed a mixed economic concern. They had economic concerns and cultural concerns. That was their priority. They don't neatly fit within Joy Reid's oversimplification. These South Americans, though, these Venezuelans, 53% of them, and some of them are here illegally. But why is it that they would rather risk the chance of being deported than live in a communist or a socialist country? What happened to them? in Venezuela, made them want to side with Trump, right? It was because of their personal experiences with socialism and authoritarian regimes. These Venezuelans, along with the Cubans, they see the echoes of the very ideology that they fled in the Democratic Party right now. What does that tell you? That tells you we would rather risk the chance of getting deported under Donald Trump than to live in a country like the one we fled in Venezuela. Damn. You see what I'm saying? But Joy Reid, she don't get that. Her remarks demonstrate ignorance. See? And they insult the agency and autonomy of these so-called Latino voters. To suggest that Latino men own everything that happens to their mixed status families because they vote for Trump, it's not only, it's deep, I can't tell you how deeply disrespectful that is. It assumes that Latino voters don't understand their own political choices and the implications of their votes. It's patronizing and it's elitist, and the stance reeks of ignorance. They recognize the fact that if Donald Trump gets elected, there's a high likelihood that he wasn't secret about it. Him and Tom Homan said they're trying to send everybody back. But they'd rather risk that than America turn into a socialist state like Venezuela, or turn into a communist state like Cuba. That's what that tells me. That's what lets you, they've seen it before. They've lived it. They ran from that to get here. See, Joy Reid's dismissal of Cuban Americans and these Venezuelan and South Americans who voted for Trump, it somehow says that they're complicit in harming their families, and it ignores the very real and legitimate fears these communities have under socialism. They basically said the lesser of two evils. We rather dodge La Migra than risk the chance of this country turning into Venezuela number 2. And that's what the Democratic Party was doing. And many of these voters saw in Trump a leader who recognized their experiences and rejected the policies reminiscent of the regimes they escaped. And their decision to support Trump, it wasn't made out of ignorance or betrayal, as Joy Reid suggests. It was a calculated and deeply personal choice informed by their history and values. Okay? And her comments also expose the hypocrisy of these elite liberals who, while claiming to champion diversity, routinely erase the complexities within these communities. Not just Black, but also Latino and Asian. Because there's a big difference between a Japanese Asian and a Filipino Asian, or a person from Singapore and a person from mainland China. And just like Black Americans resent being treated as a monolith, so do Latinos. And to lump all of them together under the label Latino and then ignore the nuances of their identities and their cultures and their voting patterns, it's superficial, it's identity-based, it alienates many voters. And to do it as a Black woman, it brings heat on us. Now, what's the big picture? Somebody type big picture in the chat room. Y'all with me? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Did y'all follow that? Did you all follow that? Somebody type, I'm tracking, okay? So Joy Reid's remarks are part of a broader pattern among these liberal elites, okay? They condescendingly dictate what's best for the rest of the country. That's what they're very parental. And their attitude reflects a superiority complex, and that one that dismisses the values and experiences of Middle America, whether it's white, Black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise. Cuban Americans, South Americans, for example, they voted for Trump because they saw the Democratic Party's policies as a threat to their freedoms. And instead of respecting these people's perspective, Joy Reid wants to mock and shame them and try to create division. And that reveals her own ignorance and intolerance and hate. This elitist disdain for everyday Americans, that's why many people rejected the Democratic agenda in 2024. People are tired of being lectured to by these coastal elite. We're tired of them. Whether it's Barack Obama telling us that we are sexist and stupid, Joe Biden telling us we're not black and we don't vote for him, tired of it.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You would tune in to Uncle D. This black man talk, pull up homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something and you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Holly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you've been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.